Good evening, and at this time I'd like to call the public budget hearing to order. We have a budget presentation. Mr. Lenz.
One second, I'll just. Sorry for the delay. So I'm really just going to run through pretty quickly this evening the budget overview that we went over at the board meeting where we adopted the budget, and just make sure that everybody understands what is contained in this budget. So when we're building the budget, it's always important that we remain transparent, and that, of course, has happened throughout this budget process. We review all historical data and are also focused on fiscal responsibility for the long term, as well as just ensuring that we meet the needs of our students to provide a premier educational experience. We take the different things that are known at the time, as well as things that we expect, as well as predicting for the future. One of the examples I presented last time was fuel cost, as we see the prices rise at the pump, but I have to predict having enough money back to June of 2022, so I make some assumptions on those costs. And then just to highlight, this past year, we have had some expenditures around COVID-related PPE and safety equipment. There is funds in the next budget as well, just kind of making sure that we can continue to provide the education as we're seeing. We've moved back to 5 days a week, and so we want to continue down that road, and the budget is set up to be able to do that. I'll run through our revenue side at first, and that is initially, of course, our state aid, which increased pretty significantly, which actually is what allows this budget to be created with a 0% tax levy. And I know we had a lot of discussion around that, but through that as well, we were able to reduce our use of fund balance, which I think provides, again, security in the long term. And then you see that our interest and so on and so forth is down, and that really is just related to the economics and banks not really providing interest in the current time. And again, reiterating the tax levy, you can see is the same number, and so we are having a 0% change on our tax levy. We do anticipate some additional funds coming in through our pilots that we have, and you can see the total budget there of $78,977,741. So if you look at the expenses, of course, our largest expense is instruction. That's what we do. So you can see the change there of about a couple $2 million, and then employee benefits. That change is following some of that structural change. Debt service, that change was planned for, and that is related to some short-term borrowings that will exist for the middle school capital project, but that also correlates with state aid that we are receiving from past capital projects. It is continues to be a zero cost to the taxpayer in the sense that it's no new cost because that's how this was built. And then our transportation change is based on the contract that exists, and our interfund transfers are remaining the same, and that's the transfer that goes to our special aid fund as well as our cafeteria fund. And so you see that the total matches, which we've built a balanced budget. And then looking back at our tax levy, I just think it's important to kind of give the history of where we've been and of course where are we going. But you can see that it's ranged from 2%, actually with a 0 in there as well. And as we look forward to this year, our tax levy limit is 2.34%, but as I've said previously, we are going out with a 0% tax levy increase, which is really related to that state aid that we received and will continue to receive. And then, this was built around programming, and so Mr. Calione, do you want to say anything around the programs?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Lenz. So the budget really maintains program, but also expands curriculum mapping in the realm of cultural competency in the core content area. And again, this provides monies for our summer program planning as well, inclusive of transportation, and also really extends out to our CTE programs with OU BOCES in addition to that. Thank you, Mr. Lenz.
Just to keep going with the same theme of expanding the school day, expanding the school year, and really the next several slides, there have been really no changes to the slides in this presentation from our other workshops because they are the overall or overarching goals that the board has and expectations that I'm sure our community has for us in providing the best technology for our students and really removing any obstacles there. Student supplies, which we implemented a few years ago to really reduce the supply list at the elementary school and also bolster what's happening at the secondary level. So those all remain in the budget as we've really explained over the past few meetings, and there is the increase in aid as a result of federal and state monies that allowed for that, and ultimately that's what allowed us to increase offerings, but still for this year have a 0% tax levy increase or impact again for this school year. So all that being said, really the charge at this point is not necessarily the budgeting for it, now it's for building of each of those programs. So strategizing the optimal purchase of the technology equipment, the licenses, the software, the hardware, etc. How do we protect those items and materials? And then also, when it comes to our programming, building that summer school program, as opposed to just budgeting for it, that's really where the work comes in at this point. So specific to the budget itself, we can get back to to the numbers and the tax levy piece that Mr. Lenz would like to cover, but I just wanted to specify that there were several slides in there. It would just be redundant to go through them each one by one.
And so, as Mr. Rydell said, so again, just to provide an overview, this budget comes in at $78,977,741. The tax levy has a 0% change, so and to support the revenue side of this, there's a fund balance allocation of just over $902,000. So this budget was really supported with the state aid increases that we received. Of course, the budget vote is not far off. We are open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday, May 18th. This will occur at the 3 traditional locations at our high school rubber gym, the middle school gymnasium, as well, and the HPE front room there. So we will have a traditional budget vote. You can vote via absentee. Those may be, the form may access on our website, or you can call and request a form, at which time, once that's completed, a ballot will be mailed to you, or you could pick it up. So I just wanted to go through what does the ballot look like this year. We do have 5 board candidates seats available, and so this is the individuals that are running and what the ballot will look like. And then we do have 2 propositions. The first, of course, being the budget, and then the second being that we are required every 2 years to have the public approve if a high school senior is able to sit on the board as an ex officio non-voting member, and so that is also being presented to the public this year. And of course, if there's any questions, you certainly can reach out to Ms. Lopez, our district clerk, as well as Mr. Rydell or myself, or Mr. Panetto, regarding the budget. Thank you. And is there any other questions or anything this evening?
Linda?
What is the last date that they can request the absentee ballot?
If they're gonna do it via mail, it has to allow for a week, so that way we can get that mailed out and get them to return it, because it has to be returned by 5 p.m. of the day of the budget vote, which is gonna be May 18th. If they are going to stop by in person, honestly, they can do that right up to the day.
Of the 18th.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they can do that in order to get that in.
Okay, thank you.
One wouldn't expect someone to come on the day of the vote to pick up an absentee ballot, so I would say the day before.
It would be.
Any other questions? Okay, this time I'll adjourn the, motion and a second to adjourn the public budget hearing.
So moved.
Ray?
Second.
Brian, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to resume regular session. Flo?
Second.
Second by Ray. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. At this time, can I ask everyone to stand for the pledge, followed by a moment of silence?
Linda, can you lead us in the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the board meeting agenda, please.
I'll move it.
Ray?
Second.
Brian? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we have a presentation on the Port Jervis Continuum of Special Education Services by Erica Valentine, our PPS Director.
Good evening. I'm really excited to talk to you guys tonight about our continuum of service.
Use your mic. Thank you.
Okay. I'm really excited to talk to you guys tonight about our continuum of services here in district for our special education students. So our goals in the Pupil Personnel Services Department for our special education students is to continue to expand our program availability in district for our students. And currently we offer a variety of programs. We have our integrated co-teaching services that we have elementary to high school. We also have a special class 15-1 that's offered elementary, middle school, and high school. We have a self-contained special class 15-1, and that's also provided at our elementary, middle school, and high school levels. And we also have a special class 812 for grades 3 to 5 currently at the elementary level. So when we're considering program and we have to consider our student needs. So looking at the data, over the last 3 years, this is the number of students that we've recommended to be placed in a special class 812 in an alternative program outside of the district. So you can see there's been a gradual increase over time. And I only anticipate that number increasing just looking at the data trends and also just the current environment with COVID and the impact it has on our students. So with that said, we would really like to have a special class 812, kindergarten to second grade at our elementary level to provide our students the opportunity to have this program in district. So this would complete our continuum from kindergarten to 6th grade at the elementary level. And part of this special class, there would be some primary components that will be addressed. So social emotional learning and behavior will be one of the primary focuses to help our students gain the knowledge and tools that they need to self-regulate and manage their behaviors. And part of that would be having a behavioral support specialist attached to that program, both classrooms, K to 6, to really hone in and work with our students on those needed skills. This individual would also work with our families, and the family component is another big piece to the success of this program. So we would look to have regular parent workshops and training to give our families the opportunity to work with our behavior support specialist on different strategies, knowing how to consistently provide those strategies at home, and also being connected with community resources. So the overall goals for our special class 812 continuum are to give our students appropriate replacement behaviors, while also supporting our families with addressing behaviors and assisting with reinforcement of replacement behaviors at home. Giving students and families access to our community resources. And of course, our goal is always to have our students learn in the least restrictive environment. So the goal of this program would be to provide our early elementary students with that structured environment to gain those tools and skills, like I said before, so that by the time they're getting ready to transition on to middle school, we're looking at transitioning them to different programs, such as our special class 15-1, because they would have those necessary tools that they need to be successful in those types of settings. So next steps, where do we go from here and how do we set this up? So we would look to bring this group of students and start the class over the summer. We want to set our students up for success. So this would give them the opportunity to get to know the classroom expectations, their classmates, the teacher, and really lay out a foundation over the summer before they entered school here in September. We'd also look to train staff, and that's not just the staff working in the classroom. This would be any of the staff in the building that would be working with our programs, and really working and looking at giving them the tools they need in terms of de-escalation strategies, and just addressing specific behaviors. And we'd also look to have a summer family workshop, and this would help kick off our program too for our families to get to know what the program is about, understand what the expectations are of the classroom, and give them the opportunity to ask any questions and get to know the program as well. So So with that said, I think that together we can provide and continue to expand programs here in district for our students. Thank you.
So I didn't know if thank you. Maybe this microphone.
Thank you, Mrs. Wallington, and outstanding presentation. I do want to take this opportunity to also, in front of the board, just really a special recognition for Mrs. Wallington and the incredible work she's doing every single day. We had high expectations for her because we knew, the great fortune we had in having her assume this position as director of PPS, but she, I just want you to know, exceeds those expectations really in the most remarkable way. So, outstanding job, Mrs. Wallington. And I didn't know if the board had any questions
I do.
for us. Yes.
Will there be additional teachers needed for this program?
Yes, there will. So basically, this would be adding an additional program. So it would be a teacher position, as well as CSEA positions to support that, teaching assistant and teacher aide.
And how are we choosing the students that we want to bring back into the district?
So over the past few years, we have asked for a review of every program that we send our students to, an explanation as to why our students would be, why that program would be selected for students, what programs do they have there, what are the attributes, and also what are the needs of the students and how do they match up with those particular programs. So that's why there has been some shift over the past couple of years with that. Mrs. Wallington has continued that work, and one of the things is looking at what grade levels do we have students that have similar needs or similar programs that we could also replicate at this level. It is not practical to bring back a program that may have 2 students, right? Because you can't sustain something like that. But if you have a program that is out there, or students that are out there, and there are 8, let's just say for example, or 7 in a grade band, that is a program that we could replicate here. It makes all the fundamental sense to bring those students back, because at the end of it all, they are Port Jervis students. If we can provide that program, they should be in our Port Jervis schools. Additionally, if it's our program, we also have full autonomy of the training of the staff, like Erica was saying, sorry, Mrs. Wallington was saying, training our food service workers on working with these, students that will be coming in, how can they best support that? It's only gonna help those individual students, and so we would control that. And when you get down the line of priorities, it's also important to point out that all those out-of-district students, there is a tuition attached to their attendance in those programs. That tuition could be $50,000, could be $75,000, could be $100,000, and hence where we look at a program such as this, where you have additional staffing involved there, as well as training, as well as summer programming, we would still expect to see a significant savings at the end of it all. Did I answer your question? I think it was just talking about we hiring a teacher. Yes.
I have a question.
Okay, so we're going to be hiring a new teacher for this, or are we going to be transferring one of our other teachers into this class? And will this be done before the summer program begins, so that the children are acclimated to that same teacher?
Yeah,
Is that a goal?
those are all absolutely great points. Yeah. So at this point, I would assume that the teacher would be appointed well in advance of the summer program, if they're not currently employed, but that there could always be an opportunity for one of our current teachers to assume that role and go into that inclusion classroom that they might be replacing. Absolutely, but there would be someone with a Port Jervis ID that doesn't currently have a Port Jervis ID involved.
Thank you.
Thank you, great question. I didn't mean to steal the microphone on that, it's kind of just habit, so is there anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I think you answered it very well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no other questions? Thanks so much for the presentation. It was very informative. Okay, at this time it's administrative reports. Mr. Lenz?
I will just say that, May 18th will be coming around the corner, so please, everyone come out and vote. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Pantaleone?
Thank you. I'd just like to take a moment and, recognize the accomplishments of all of our student athletes, during the past season. But, I got a chance to attend the football game on April 24th. It was a beautiful Saturday day. And our varsity team went up against a tough Marlboro team that's perennially tough. And it was just a 48-0 victory to really obtain the Class B Section 9 championship. And it was just beyond impressive. But along with that, capping really a perfect season and a #1 ranking in New York State. So kudos to the whole team, parents and coaches, supporters, and fans alike. And along with that, the volleyball team had a very impressive season as well. They had a tough loss to the Spack and Kill. And just to recognize all of our student athletes for their efforts once again. I would also like to share with the board today, we had a first of a series of meetings for our summer school program, and really informational and meeting with different stakeholders to really review the changes, the expansion of not only our traditional program, but to increase offerings of electives, after-school programming, and the addition of HBE as another facility for our K-2 learners. So we're excited about getting input from staff and really development of the program over the next few weeks. And last but not least, I would also like to recognize all of our teachers for all their hard work and dedication for National Teachers Day and week. So thank you for all that you do, and keep inspiring our youngsters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pantaleone. Mr. Rydell?
Thank you, and just to accentuate what Mr. Pantaleone started out with the football team and the Section 9 championship, I do want to point out that not only were they the Class B champions, but I think it's important to note that they also were victorious over the Class A Section 9 champions and the Class AA Section 9 champions. So that's pretty wild and pretty impressive. So I think that they're deserving of just a separate title of, they are the Section 9 champions. So absent of us being able to get a state championship, that's a pretty good consolation prize. But in all seriousness, congratulations to the team, and just really an outstanding thing to be a part of. So I want to open up with an item that is on this evening's agenda, and it is the nomination for the New York State School Boards Association Everett R. Dyer Award. This award is accepting nominations from member school districts across New York State, and I'd like to read a brief description of that award, followed by a letter I proposed to begin the nomination process. This award is the New York State School Boards Association's Everett R. Dyer Award for Distinguished Board Service. Is presented annually to a current or former school board member in recognition of outstanding contributions to public education and children in their own district. So as a result of reading this description, like I said, I proposed a nomination letter that I would like to read at this time. I assure you it's relatively brief, because if I were to go off the cuff about this individual, I could just go on and on about this amazing person. So with that, it begins with, to whom it may concern. It is my pleasure to submit this nomination letter for the Everett R. Dyer Award for Distinguished School Board Service on behalf of Kathy Sadajahani. I offer this letter with the highest regard for an individual that has not only served as a trustee, vice president, and president of the Port Jervis City School District Board of Education for a total of 16 years, but for an individual that continues to remain exceptionally involved with improving the operations of the school district and the unfaltering dedication to providing the best educational experiences for all of our students. I've had the pleasure of working with Mrs. Sadajahani for the past 4 years. The first 2 years, Mrs. Sadajahani was a trustee on the Board of Education and a member of multiple school and community-based committees. While her long and storied tenure on the Board of Education ended in 2019, her commitment to our schools and most especially our students has continued without interruption since then. Of particular note, Mrs. Sadajahani firmly believes that the bedrock of an effective and efficient school board and the operations thereof hinge on the policies of the school district. The passion and commitment that is dedicated to her role in organizing the review protocol, extensive research, and her institutional knowledge are unparalleled and prove to be of tremendous value at each meeting. Furthermore, she continues to represent our school district in community-based organizations and committees, thereby providing further benefits to our learning community. Each of these are completed with grace and dignity while never seeking accolades or appreciation for her significant time investment. While I attempt to voice my sincere appreciation and gratitude for all she selflessly does for our students, I am compelled to offer this nomination for this prestigious award for a truly special individual, an individual that is exceedingly deserving of such recognition and far more. So I wanted to share that with everyone because Ms. Sadajahani is an incredibly special person and just gives herself, tirelessly to this school district and with no expectation of any return other than it's her passion. So I'm hopeful that when this item comes up on the agenda for a vote, that the board would in fact approve this nomination because, like I said, she's exceptionally deserving of it. And I want to conclude in a similar manner to Mr. Panleone, and that is with the backdrop of this being Teacher Appreciation Week, that I express my sincere appreciation for the great teachers of this school district, for all that they do each and every day, and not just throughout this school year and the obstacles that they have encountered and worked tirelessly and effectively to overcome, but for all they do for our students, for each other, and for the community. While I have appreciation for all teachers out there, I offer my personal and professional gratitude to our incredible faculty. And in closing, I just wanted to share with the board that we did receive from the Mid-Hudson School Study Council yesterday notification that one of our teachers is receiving the Teaching Excellence Award, and that is Maura Brady Wilson at ASK. And Mr. Cancredi and I had a great opportunity to share that great news with Maura Brady Wilson yesterday. So again, just an amazing teacher, an amazing person, and just so deserving of that honor as well. And thank you.
Okay, so before we move on the agenda, I have something I would like to say. Each spring, the Mid-Hudson School Study Council accepts nominations for Educational Leadership Awards. Due to the pandemic, they did not have the program last year, and this year they selected recipients but will not be recognized at a big meeting and rather be done locally. While reading through letters of recommendation submitted in support of this person, there are many words that describe what people feel. These include visionary leader, immense advocate for students, works tirelessly to improve the learning experience and educational opportunities for all students, has the ability to get things done, is professional, hardworking, thoughtful, and student-centered. At this time, I'd like everyone to join me in congratulating Mr. Mike Rydell as one of this year's Educational Leadership Award recipients. Krista and I pulled a fast one off today, but that's all right. Thanks for your help. The Mid-Hudson School Study Council presents the 2021 Educational Leadership Award to Michael Rydell, Port Jervis City School District. He's speechless. Everybody hear that?
I'm certified
move on the agenda. If I can find it, hold on. Here's your letter, Mike. You're welcome. What do I do with my agenda? Okay, at this time, item 6 is consent agenda items. These include the minutes of the April 22nd, 2021 meeting, the CPSE meeting minutes of 3:15 and 4:6:21, CPSE meeting minutes, annual review for 21-22 from 3:15 and 4:15:21, CPSE meeting minutes from 4:29:21, CSE meeting minutes from 4:6, 4:7, 4:8, 4:9, 4:12, 4:14, 4:15, 4:16, 4:19, 4:20, 4:21, 4:22, 4:23, and 4:27:21. CSE meeting minutes, annual reviews for 21-22 from 4:6, 4:7, 4:8, 4:9, 4:12, 4:13, 4:14, 4:15, 4:16, 4:19, 4:20, 4:21, 4:22, and 4:23. May I have a motion for approval of these consent agenda items, please?
It also includes 427.
Okay.
So moved.
I'll
Third.
Judy, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 7 is personnel employment items. These include resignation, middle school world language ESL club, resignation support staff position 388 cleaner, employment contracts for Superintendent Mike Rydell, Assistant Superintendent Joseph Lenz, and Assistant Superintendent Nicholas Pantaleone for 2021 through 2026. Appointment vacancy number 2239, co-curricular position. Appointment vacancy number 2253, arts teacher. Appointment support staff vacancy 2288, position 74, permanent monitor. Appointment support staff vacancy 2290, position 516, permanent food service helper. Appointment vacancy 2291, special education temporary leave replacement, grade 1s through 6. Appointment support staff vacancy 2298, temporary per diem summer laborers. Increase of hours support staff food service helpers. Appointment support staff substitute cleaners. Appointment support staff substitute computer help desk aide. Appointment support staff provisional to permanent status teacher aides. Appointment instructional substitute teacher. At this time, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve these items as listed.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I also have a statement as it relates to the employment contracts in 7C. It is the position of the Board of Education that the work of the current central administration team has positively impacted our district in a significant way. We are committed to maintaining a long-term relationship with the central administration in order to give them the opportunity to continue their good work. To solidify that commitment, we have agreed to extend their contracts for an additional 1 year and make other changes to the contracts to support this endeavor. Thank you. Item 8A is agreement between the Port Jervis City School District and CSEA for the food service coordinator. Could I have a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor, please?
I'll move it.
Ray and Flo, is there any discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8B is adoption of the Port Jervis City School District student calendar for the 21-22 school year. I'll entertain a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor.
I'll move it.
Ray?
I'll second.
Judy? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8C is adoption of the Board of Education meeting schedule for 21-22 school year. I'll entertain a motion and a second for this item, please.
I'll move it.
Brian?
I'll second it.
Linda? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8E is the Everett R. Dyer Award for Distinguished School Board Service. Be it resolved that the Port Jervis City School District Board of Education hereby nominates Catherine Sadagiani for the Everett R. Dyer Award for Distinguished School Board Service. May I have a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor, please?
I'll move it. Very happily second that one.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Let's hope she gets the award. Okay, item E is from policy. It's the second and final readings of number 5681, 6120, 6121, and 7316. Well, I missed a motion. I'll go back and get it in a minute. I'll go back and get it, sorry. Can I have a motion and a second for this item?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so I missed item 8D, I'm very sorry for that, but I would like to read the resolution in its entirety before we bring it for adoption. And this is a veterans tax exemption for the Port Jervis City School District. Whereas veterans have provided an invaluable service to this country by risking their lives to protect the freedoms enjoyed by all citizens of the United States. And whereas in recognition of this service and the sacrifices that it entailed, on December 18, 2013, Governor Cuomo signed a bill to allow school districts to partially exempt property owned by certain qualified veterans. And whereas such bill requires the governing body of a school district to pass a resolution to adopt such bill, and whereas the veterans tax exemption was approved by the Port Jervis City School District on October 6, 2015, therefore be it resolved that the Port Jervis City School District does hereby increase the exemption provided for in real property tax law 458-A. Resolved that the lowest annual exemption amount shall be as follows: $12,000 for all eligible recipients of the exemption provided for under RPTL 458A. $20,000 for all veterans who served in a, quote, combat zone, end quote, as that term is defined under RPTL 458A. $40,000 for all veterans who suffered a, quote, service-connected, end quote, disability, as that term is defined under RPTL 458-A. At this time, I'll entertain a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor.
I'll move it.
It is my great pleasure to second it.
Okay. Linda and Ray, is there any discussion on this item? All in favor? Oh,
Aye.
okay, hold on a minute, wait, Flo has a question or comment.
I was on board when this first came to fruition, and Denny Simmons, like I said, we wanted to do this, and it was passed. I didn't realize it was the lowest exemption possible, and then when Mr. Lentz came and said that we were working on it, I was very happy. Like I said, we can't give enough to our veterans, and it helps. What little this is, it's something. It's just saying thank you to our veterans, and with that, I'm thankful for the school district to do this, and I thank you all.
Anyone else with other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now item number 9 is board member items, board committee reports. Linda, do you have anything from Orange County?
The meeting is tomorrow night.
Okay.
So, next meeting. I'll have
Okay.
something.
I don't have anything from policy. Flo, do you have anything from Deer Park or health and safety?
There's not health and safety. I missed the meeting. Health and wellness, I missed the meeting. Just been very busy up at the town. But we're talking about things opening up. I just wanted to, being that I'm on the air, our seniors, I took the Department of Health yesterday, and they are letting me open the senior center soon. So I am very happy for that. Even if I let, even if we let 30, 35 a day, they have 5 days to come in, just to get them back in, just to get them where there's a place to meet. They can bring their food and something to drink, and I'm meeting with two of the presidents of the clubs tomorrow. But we can see it's coming back. We can see that things are happening, and I'm just so ecstatic. And I know it's just May, but I'm getting my front monument ready. And, last year, I was very upset that we could not do our service, and this year we're gonna do it. So have everybody prepare, and it's gonna be bigger than ever. It's our 20th anniversary this year. So just keep that in mind. And I thank everybody for doing what they do for us.
Thank you, Flo. Okay, this time it's board member comments. Ray?
I want to begin by thanking Mrs. Wallington for the wonderful presentation. It was very, very well displayed and great information. Our learning community should be very happy with this moving forward. I want to congratulate all our educators during the week of our educators. I know I say it all the time, but it's wonderful that you guys get the gratitude that and the appreciation that you all deserve, especially during this crazy year. What you guys have gone through has just been, I don't know how you guys have done it. So just thank you. Congratulations, Mike, on your award.
Thank you.
I know all the hard work you've put in this year, and I'm glad that you were recognized for it. Thank you so much. And to Mrs. Sadegahani, I wish her well. If there's anyone more deserving of this award, I haven't met her yet. Working with her since 2012 has been very, very informative, educational, and we are very lucky to still have her in the capacity in the roles that she serves. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Linda.
Okay, I have to go back a little bit here. I do have an update from the New York State School Board Association, which I also represent. And there is health and mental health hotline kind of thing that if you need help with your children or yourself or anything, you can reach out to your child's school. And there is policies and plans in place to help them. I'm not an expert on this kind of information, but we do have that information available to help our students. A lot of children and parents as well have gone through a lot in this epidemic, and so anybody that is suffering or feel that their children need some extra help, please be sure to contact your child's school. And then as far as my other comments, I also want to say congratulations to a lot of people. We have a lot of special people in this community who take our commitment to our school and our children very importantly. And all the teachers, I appreciate all of your hard work and efforts. And congratulations to Kathy Sadegahani and Moore Brady Wilson and Mr. Rydell. I know many Sundays I rode by the main office and saw your car sitting there, and I was thinking, he's either his wife kicked him out or he's working a little overtime. And I don't think that's what the case was. But I'm sure you were in there busy working away. And I just want to thank everybody for all the sports. I really enjoy being able to go out to some of the sports events now. It just warms your heart to be able to drive in and see the kids out in the fields, out there playing, out there enjoying life like they should be. And I went to a lot of the away games, the soccer. A lot of you know my granddaughter plays soccer, so of course I was out there at a lot of the soccer games, and I went to several of the football games. So I really did enjoy that. And so thank you to all of our athletes and their coaches.
Thanks, Linda. Judy? Brian?
I just wanted to say congratulations to Kathy and also to Mr. Rydell. I too have seen his car sitting in the same parking spot, and I know that he works more hours than one person should. And it's not taken lightly, and we appreciate it. And thanks, Mike.
Flo?
I would like to say congratulations to all our football players, the coaches, and the staff. It was awesome that they came away with such a short period of time that they had to practice and go out there. And I'm very proud to come from this area. Like I say, everybody puts their heart and soul into this district, and I thank you for it. Congratulations, Mrs. Sadegahani. I've called Mrs. Sadegahani Miss Policy for I can't tell you how long I've known her, because, I mean, you just look at her, ask her a question, and right off the bat, she knows exactly where it is, or what it is, or how to change it and stuff. But we've been dear friends for just a few years, right? Mr. Rydell, congratulations on your award. This administration has done a lot for us, and I thank you for it. And, you know, if you ever need me, I'm just a phone call away. You know where I am, I'm up the road. But again, our students, our people, Mr. Lenz thinking about the veterans, I just, it warms my heart, you know, because they're taking initiatives and stuff, and, I know we got a little bit of money, and it's gonna take a little bit of money from the homeowners and stuff, but it's not that much, it's not, you know, when it comes down to it, and, to be appreciated of what we could do for one another, and that's what counts, and we're all here, and I'm sure, and this community's shown it over and over and over again. I think I feel like Mr. Rydell, I'm not stopping talking, I keep talking, why didn't you that? But see, this is what it's about, right? If you can't laugh, you can't have a good joke, and it's good, it's all good, and I'm proud to be here. Thank you.
And I'm not gonna add to that, I feel the same as everyone else does. I think there's great things going on here. I wanna congratulate our teachers and thank them for our teachers, teaching assistants, and teachers' aides for all they do to make a difference in our children's lives every day. On Thursday, it's also National Nurses Day. So I would like to congratulate our nurses and thank them for all they do for keeping our kids safe and healthy. So with that, I will give you the dates to remember. So May 6th are the Kuykendall Award Ceremony at the high school. May 7th, K-6 Trimester 3 progress reports are issued. May 7th, Port Jervis Middle School Drama Production Freaky Friday, 7 p.m. at Riverside Park. May 8th, Port Jervis Middle School Drama Production Freaky Friday at 2 and 7 at Riverside Park. Saturday, May 8th is the SAT exams at 7:30 a.m. here at the high school. May 11th, Port Jervis High School PTSA meeting, 6 p.m. It's a virtual meeting. May 18th is the public budget vote and the school board elections from 7 to 9 at your appropriate voting location. May 19th is the Board of Education meeting and the canvass of vote at 7 p.m. here in the high school cafeteria. Upcoming events, May 21st, 7 to 12, fourth marking period progress reports are issued. May 28th and 31st are Memorial Day weekend, no school for students. The district is also closed on 5/31. June 1st is the Board of Education meeting at 7. The next Board of Education meeting will be held on Wednesday, May 19th at 7 p.m. in the high school cafeteria. Of note, as we continue to follow social distancing guidelines, in lieu of public attendance at our Board of Education meetings in effect through May 26, 2021, subject to extension or change by governor order at any time, there will be a link on our website to view the meeting, which will be live streamed. A public service announcement, reminder to parents with children eligible for kindergarten in the fall. Online registration is open 24/7 through the link on our registration department webpage. If you need assistance or have questions regarding registration, please contact the district registrar at extension 16601. There being no further business at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Ray. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, everybody have a great night. Thank you.